Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. So another week of beta has gone by and we found ourselves again with more news to look at. First of all, GGG rebalanced a lot of uniques, in this case 50 unique items which they thought were not in the place they should have been. So there is a list in the development manifesto, which I'll link in the description below, with all of the uniques that have been changed. Most of these have been buffed, however some have been nerfed. For example, the Searing Touch now appears on a Lathi base type, which is much higher level, making this not an extremely strong leveling item anymore. Then there's been some of those which have gained or lost a mod, and this makes them unable to gain the new mods just by divining them. However, most of those items which has like increased local physical damage or these kind of things can obtain the new mods just using a divine orb on them. So if you are a trader and you're playing in the current standard or hardcore league, you might want to check out this list so that you do not get ripped off while trying to trade. For example, Wind Reaper here, the mods, the rarity has been reduced, the quantity has been reduced, the crit chance has been reduced. So Wind Reaper has been very much nerfed overall, and that is why you might have noticed a very high fluctuation of the price in the latest week. But yeah, be careful about those. Check this out if you're interested. Going on, there have been the lead changes we talked about have finally hit the realm, the beta realm that is, and there's been a lot of confusion on how leech works. So the way I understand it is one single hit can only leech a base of 2% of your maximum life. However, you can stack multiple instances of leech up to a maximum of 20% of your current maximum life per second. This single leech and the max leech can be increased by putting points into the passive tree, which now has a couple of specified wheels for life leech. I found 2 wheels for life leech, and I also found 1 for mana leech. So you will be able to specialize, to actually very much specialize into leech, be it life or mana, and add more diversity to your own builds. This should probably be good. However, I really wish GGG made it a little bit more understandable, because even when reading like something like the wiki, it is still pretty hard to understand. Now, maps and map drops. The maps have been kind of divided into low, mid and high tier maps. This time the mid to high tier maps have been increased in drop rate, so it will be a little bit easier to reach and maintain. However, the highest tier of maps, which are level 80 and above, will still be challenging to reach and maintain, and it seems GGG is really set into making the hardest level maps hard to reach and maintain. And there's also going to be a rework of map mods, which is kind of in the game at the moment, but it's not really too much defined, so I'll wait for next week to talk about those. And speaking about dates, we got the focus on the 1st of July for the first patch, which should complete the content of the beta, and this should be on track as supposed to. Also, we should have on the 10th of July the official launch of the expansion for everyone. Now, the 10th of July, you might notice, is Friday, and Chris said the launch should be at a decent time for both Americans, Europeans and New Zealand's players. So this is finally going to be good. If for any reasons GGG cannot make the launch on the 10th, I would expect it to be on the 17th, which is the next Friday. However, this is still not official, so yeah, keep that in mind, but do not be too much sure of it. And then we got 2 new unique items. First, it's a ring, Call of the Brotherhood 2-stone ring. Being a 2-stone, of course, it has cold and lightning resistances, some int, then very good properties. It increases lightning damage by quite a lot. It has a lot of mana regeneration, converts 50% of lightning damage to cold damage, and your spells have a 100% chance to shock against frozen enemies. So this is a very good build if you can focus on lightning damage and freeze, so you will be able to freeze a lot, and that will automatically shock the enemies, which will do more damage to them, of course. I think this is a good alternative to a crit build, because with a crit build you automatically freeze and shock, so you don't need this ring. But if you do not crit, this ring is absolutely good. And of course you can do a lot of conversion plays, which are going to be complicated, but I'm sure someone will come up with a pretty fun build. And then the King's card, Conquest Chainmail. It's a hybrid armor and energy shield with flat life and mana. Then it has increased endurance charge duration, which is always good, and you gain 100 life when an endurance charge expires or is consumed. So 100 life isn't much, but if you have a lot of charges, this can be pretty good to have for some situations. For example, cast 1 damage taken Immortal Call, your Immortal Call is procced, and this means you got hit for enough to proc your cast 1 damage taken, so you consume the endurance charges, which will heal you for a little bit, but a little bit might actually be enough to keep you alive, for example if you're getting hit by spells. And yeah, I think this is a quite nice defensive mail. I'm not sure who will use it, but I'm definitely sure there are some uses. And then we got a new hideout of the week. This time it's Elrond library, which has been remade. You can see a very awesome portal with a lid. It's pretty cool looking. It's based on a fan fiction which has been written on the forums and talks about how Sharon's actually acquired a den where she put all her riches. So this is, as you can see, a very cool hideout, pretty good one. And then for last but not least, actually a very important piece of news, the community showcase number 12, starting with the Front Seat Gamer podcast, of course by GGG's developers Blake, Nick and Sovun. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. That talks about various games, developments and aspects of Path of Exiles, working at GGG, and many random things. If you like podcasts, this is definitely a good one to listen to, and there's all the links you'll need here. Of course, I'll link this in the description below. Then there are more podcasts. This time is the State of Exiles one. There is episode 31 and episode 32. Both are up. Guests are Nugian, Uber Elite, and Project PT. So also if you like any of these streamers, you can definitely check the podcast out. Again, links are right here. And then there is a piece of fan art made by Wandering in Pixels. And you might remember this one because many weeks ago I found this on Reddit. Well, found it, it was on the top of the front page, so it was not really hard to find. But I said in my videos that this was going to be featured in the community showcase, and so it has happened because it's a goddamn good piece of art. I also have been using it as my desktop background for a while. I just wish it had a higher resolution so it could fit all my screen, but it's still very, very good and full of fun stuff to find, uniques, gems, orbs, all kind of stuff. Really great piece of art. Then there is the Carnage Heart amulet someone actually made in real life, so you can find in the image URL link all the process with description. Of course, if you're interested, you can read those up to the final result, which is pretty damn similar to the item in game. So I would say very good work right there. It looks really good. Then there is Medmori vs Mirabel and an Abaxoth. If you like Medmori as a streamer, you can check this out. And lastly, I have actually been featured in this community showcase with video that is now almost 11th month old. It's been published on the 9th of August of 2014, but it's still pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. Of course it's mine, so I like this video. However, I'd like to thank GGG for giving me a little bit of spotlight, and of course I'd like to thank everyone else who's watching these videos and keeping this series alive, keeping my channel going. Thank you very much everyone. It's actually great to do videos. So that was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Of course, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host, Giorgio, and I'll see you guys the next time.